Any questions regarding yesterday's subject? Anyone is willing to summarize the last shlok, which was read by Krisha yesterday? Is anyone interested?
I can try.
Yes, go for it.
So yesterday we discussed that for those beings which want to attain salvation or other worldly fruits can worship Vishnu and Shiv, and Brahmaji will not be able to give you the salvation as he has been given the role of Guru. So Vishnu has the process of sustaining this universe, whereas Shiv has been tasked with the role of destroying this universe. Vishnu will provide you salvation, whereas Shiv will provide his devotees with other worldly and outer worldly amenities. Verse 12/13 further elaborates on this. Given that each Jiv has a different type of nature composed of Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas, the type of fruit they will want will be dependent on the primary quality of these three natures. Those with the Sattvic Gun will have a desire to attain salvation, whereas those with the Rajas or Tamas Gun will seek whether worldly or outer worldly fruits. Since Brahma is the regulator of the Rajas Gun, Vishnu is the regulator of the Sattvic Gun, and Shiva is the regulator of the Tamas Gun, and that Brahmaji doesn't give salvation, those with Rajas and Tamas Gun will worship Shiv, and those jivas which are Sattvic will worship Vishnu, as they will give them the respective fruits.
Fine. So what Mahaprabhuji wants to explain is that yesterday, in the 10th and 11th shlok we understood that a person can attain salvation by going in the refuge of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiv as well. That type of salvation can be attained by worshipping any of these gods and goddesses, and as both the deities are prominent and proficient in fulfilling their task as provided by Bhagwan, a being can attain salvation by being in their refuge. As we understood that Brahma is respected as Guru, and since Vedas are obtained by Brahmaji from Bhagwan, and later on he himself taught the sages, therefore Brahma doesn't provide the fruit of salvation, but he is respected as a Guru for understanding the concept of salvation. Therefore a person can obtain salvation by being in the refuge of Shiva and Vishnu. Now here what Sri Mahaprabhuji wants to explain is that Supreme Brahma, now the question raises here is that if we go through the treatise which explain the importance of Vishnu, for example, if I am reading Bhagavat, if I am reading Garuda Puran, or I am reading Vishnu Puran, I'll be reading that Vishnu is the superior most person and I must go in his refuge. For example, if I go through Shiv Puran, I'll be able to understand that Shiv is the superior most one, and therefore I must go in the refuge of Shiv for attaining salvation. So as a reader or as a person who wants to attain salvation, the question which will arise in my mind will be that which is the scripture which is supposed to be followed, or whom I am supposed to believe. It means, am I supposed to consider Shiva as the superior one, or am I supposed to consider Vishnu as the superior one? Among both these deities, in whose refuge I must go for attaining salvation. Because each and every treatise will explain the importance of the other god and goddesses, and Vishnu and Shiva both are the equal options for attaining the fruit which I would like to attain. So here Sri Mahaprabhuji wants to clarify that Bhagavan has created the individual beings out of his consciousness, and universe is created out of Prakriti, which is the insentient power of Brahma. And the whole universe is created out of Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas, which are in total combined form, they are known as Prakriti. Now, generally, people having Sattvic tendency, they develop a desire for attaining salvation, while other two, it means the people who are having Rajas or Tamas attribute, they don't feel like attaining salvation, but they develop the tendency of attaining worldly or outer worldly results. So Brahma is the regulator of Rajas Gun as he conducts the act of creating the universe. Vishnu is the sustainer and he is the conductor of Sattvic Gun, while Shiva is the destroyer and he is the conductor of the Tamas Gun. So all these three deities, they regulate these three gun, but ultimately all these three are the form of Almighty Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself. It means Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself is in these three forms. Therefore, in all the scriptures, the greatness of all these three gods and goddesses have been explained. And therefore, when we go through Shiva Puran, it explains that Shiva is the superior one, and when we go through Narad Pancharatra or Vishnu Puran, it explains that Vishnu is the superior most one. But the superiority of all these three deities lies in being the form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself. As Bhagavan wants these three to be in this form and wants to provide the fruit of attaining salvation, worldly results to their worship explained in their respective scriptures. But as this explained, generally the being who develop the tendency of Sattvic Gun, they are intended to attain salvation, while those who are having Rajas and Tamas Gun, those who are having prominent Rajas and Tamas Gun, they don't feel like attaining salvation. They of attaining worldly and outer worldly result. Therefore, Shiva is as the conductor of the Tamas Gun. Therefore, most of the devotees of Shiva are having Tamas attribute, while Vishnu is having the Sattvic Gun. Therefore, devotees of Vishnu are also found to be of Sattvic Gun. So, generally, though both the deities, it means Vishnu and Shiva, are capable enough for providing each and every result, still the devotees of Vishnu attain salvation, or Vishnu provides the fruit of salvation. On the other side, the devotees of Shiva are more interested in attaining worldly and outer worldly result. Therefore, they attain the fruit of worldly and outer worldly results by worshipping Shiva. This is the general arrangement. Though both the deities are capable enough for providing each and every fruit to their devotees. But it becomes easy as the follower, as the worshipper of our Tamas. Therefore, it is quite easy for Shiva to provide worldly and outer worldly fruits to his devotees, while most of the devotees of Vishnu are Sattvic. Therefore, it gets easy for Vishnu to provide the fruit of salvation to his devotees. Am I audible? Okay. Yeah. Anyone has to ask anything? Okay.
Raja,
Then whoever, yes.
yesterday explained that Shiv, Brahma, and Vishnu were the Shaktiman, and they have, and Lakshmi, Durga, and Saraswati were the Shakti of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiv. So, do the Shakti have the same nature as the Shaktiman, or is it different?
Shakti doesn't have the same nature, because Shakti and Shaktiman in our concept, they are not considered to be different. For example, Radha and Krishna. Now Radha is the Shakti and Krishna is the Shaktiman. So we don't differentiate between the Shakti and Shaktiman, or we don't even consider these two to be different from each other. So in our philosophical concept, both are incompetent to each other. That's how Shakti and Shaktiman work.
Ji Raja.
So for example, Shiva is the deity who conducts the work of destruction. Now Mahakali or Durga is the Shakti of Shiva. So he will use his Shakti for destructing the universe. This is how they work with each other. So they both are supportive to each other. They will be working for each other. So in our concept, we don't consider the Shakti and Shaktiman to be independent, or we don't consider them to be different from each other. It means philosophically, they are incompetent to each other. If you know the concept of Ardhanarishwar, that in the concept of Ardhanarishwar, it is said that in a single body, half body is of Shiva and half body is of Shakti. So that's what our concept is, of considering the both to be one, not two.
Okay, I understand now.
Is that clear? Fine.
Yeah.
Any other question? Okay. Continue with the next slok. Whose turn it is? Who is reading today?
Dandavat Pranam Raja. It's Hirva's turn. I'm not sure if she joined or not. Then it's Rajesh.
Okay. Whoever is present may go for it.
Otherwise, Sanvi, you can go.
I don't think they are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Loke piyata prabhu brukta tanna yachit kahirchita. But yeah. So translation, loke, in the world, api, also, yat, which objects, prabhu, owner, bhukta, enjoys, tat, those objects, na kahirchita, never. Meaning, in the real world, also the owner only enjoys the object himself. He never allows anyone else to possess or relish his favorite objects. Shiv, always remaining exotic, relishes the salvation for himself, and hence he will not give the fruit of salvation to his devotees, and thus he easily gives all physical comforts to them, because Shivji never enjoys worldly comforts. In the same manner, Vishnuji, along with Lakshmiji, without attachment, is the owner of all luxuries. Therefore, he provides salvation to his devotees rather than giving them worldly comforts. Explanation. Sri Mahaprabhuji has explained the above reason with a worldly example. So this is explaining that the owner always enjoys the object himself and doesn't let anyone else possess or enjoy his object, his favorite object. So Shiv is the Shiv always provides, as you explained before, always provides the worldly objects to his devotees who possess the rajas and tamas gun, because they possess the rajas and tamas gun. So he always enjoys the salvation. While Vishnu and Lakshmi ji, they provide the fruit of salvation to his devotees because they possess the sattvic gun. So because of this, Vishnu always has the luxuries to enjoy and possess. So he has the worldly comforts. So in the next Lakshmi Mahaprabhuji will be explaining this with a worldly example.
No. In this shlok itself, the worldly example has been given. That, for example, if I love some object, then I am not going to provide that object to someone else. I will be relishing that object on my own. Same way, here the above reason, it means the arrangement which Mahaprabhuji is explaining, that generally Shiv will be providing you the worldly and outer worldly result, while Vishnu will be providing you the salvation. So now what's the reason? In the above slok we understood one reason, that the devotees of Shiva are generally of Rajas and Tamas attribute, and therefore they are generally interested in attaining worldly fruits, and therefore Shiva provides them the same. While on the other side, Vishnu, the devotees of Vishnu are found to be of sattvic tendency, and therefore Vishnu provides them the salvation. Now this is the general arrangement which we understood in the last slok. Now here the reason Sri Mahaprabhuji wants to explain. First reason, the prominent reason is the same, that the tendency of the devotees is found to be of that particular nature, and therefore the suitable fruit is provided by the deity. Now here Sri Mahaprabhu provides a worldly example, that for example, if I am fond of something, I am enjoying some object, then I will not be providing that object to someone else. I'll be giving something else to that person if someone demands anything from me. So here it is explained that, for example, Shiv is enjoying the salvation for himself. He is an ascetic, and therefore he will not be providing the fruit of salvation to his devotees and will be providing the physical comforts. On the other side, Vishnu, along with Lakshmi, without being attached to Lakshmi, is the owner of all the luxuries. Therefore he provides the salvation to his devotees rather than providing them any sort of worldly or outer worldly comforts. Therefore this arrangement, it means this process of providing these particular fruits to the devotees, can be understood with this worldly example as well. Any question regarding this? Okay, go for the next slok.
जी राजा, अति प्रियाय तदपि दीयते क्वचिदेव हि नियथाप्रदानेन तदीयतं तदाश्रय प्रत्येकं साधनं चेतद्वितीयार्थे महांक्षम. Translation: he, but, tat, that, api, also, ati priyai, very favorite, kvachit, rarely, eva, even though, diyat, gives, niyatharth pradanena, providing as per general rules, tadiyatvam, devoted to bhagavadiyat, tadiyatvam, tadashraya, complete refuge in the deity or bhagavadashray, etad, that, pratyekam, of every fruit, sadhanam, method or means, dvitiyartha, to provide some other kind of fruit, mahan, great, sram, efforts. Meaning, even though sometimes for very favorite devotees Shivji will provide the fruit of salvation, and Vishnuji will give worldly comforts. Otherwise, as per general rules, Shivji will give worldly comforts, and Vishnuji will provide salvation. For attaining any of the above fruits from both deities, a being must take complete refuge in him and must be devoted towards the same deity. Only after being satisfied with the devotion of the deity, the deity provides his devotee with the fruits. For providing the opposite kind of fruit, in spite of being capable, both the deities have to exert extra efforts. Explanation. For example, when Dhruv, being 5 years old, performed excessive penance for attaining fruit from Bhagwan Vishnu, he provided him the kingdom and fulfilled his worldly desire. Same way, even Shiv provides salvation to many of his favorite devotees who would be completely devoted towards them. Though both the deities are capable enough of providing all the fruits, as devotees of both the respective deities possess different attitudes, it gets difficult for the deities to change their devotees' tendency and provide them fruit accordingly. So, based on what I understood, this is explaining that Shivji provides the fruit of salvation. Shivji provides the fruit of worldly comforts, while Vishnu provides the salvation. But because Shivji and Vishnu are capable of providing any fruit to their devotees based on their actions, Shivji can also provide the fruit of salvation, and Vishnu can provide the fruit of worldly comforts. But this is also difficult on the part of Shiv and Vishnu because, on general terms, most of their devotees, the devotees of Shiv would have the Rajas and Tamas gun, while Vishnu's devotees would have the Sattvic gun. So Shiv and Vishnu are likely to provide the fruits with this nature, but in different occurrences, Shivji and Vishnu would have to provide the fruit of opposite nature, which could get extra hard, and they would have to put extra effort into this. Like the example of Dhruv is being given here, where Bhagwan Vishnu had provided Dhruv with a kingdom and worldly pleasure, and fulfilled his worldly desire. So Bhagwan Vishnu was able to fulfill this wish of Dhruv, but it also occupied a lot of Bhagwan Vishnu's effort. So this is saying that Shiva and Vishnu can provide the fruits of opposite nature, but it would they would have to put in extra effort into it. This is what I understood.
So here Sri Mahaprabhuji wants to explain that even though the general arrangement is of providing these particular fruits to their devotees, like Shiv will be providing the worldly and outer worldly results, while Vishnu will be providing the salvation. But as they both are capable of providing the fruit, then as a general rule, Shivji will be giving worldly comforts and Vishnuji will be providing salvation. But still, if some devotee is very close and that devotee performs the devotion towards the same deity, then being satisfied with the devotion of that particular deity, the deity provides his devotee with any of the fruit. But for providing the opposite kind of fruit, in spite of being capable, both the deities have to take extra efforts. The reason is that they will have to change the nature of that particular devotee, if at all it is not according to the fruit they are demanding for. For example, being Sattvic, if a devotee of Vishnu asks for worldly or outer worldly result, the deity needs to be very careful that he doesn't get so much interested in those worldly comforts that he would be interested in attaining salvation. On the other side, if Shiv will have to provide the salvation to his devotee, then he will have to be careful that in spite of being of tamas attribute, the devotee becomes capable enough for attaining salvation, because salvation cannot be provided directly to the person who will be having rajas or tamas attribute. So Shiv will have to convert the attribute of his devotee, and only after that he would be able to provide the salvation to that devotee. So this is the reason that Vishnu and Shiv both will have to take extra efforts for converting the behavior of those particular devotees, and only then they can be providing them the opposite fruit, which would not be as per the general arrangement and their nature. The example is given that, for example, in spite of being just 5 years old, Dhruva performed excessive penance for attaining fruit from Bhagavan Vishnu, and after that penance he asked for a kingdom from Vishnu, because he was hurt by the words of his mother, and therefore he wanted to attain kingdom. He didn't had any other thought in his mind at that particular age. So he asked Vishnu for attaining that fruit, and Vishnu was happy and satisfied with devotion, and therefore Vishnu provided him the kingdom and fulfilled his worldly desire. Though after some particular stage he realized that he wouldn't have asked for that fruit, because attaining salvation was a better thing, and therefore after realization he was completely devoted towards Vishnu in spite of being the king. So this was a sattvic tendency, but still Vishnu provided him the worldly result. Same way, even Shiv provides salvation to many of his favorite devotees who would be completely devoted towards the Shiv. Though both the deities are capable enough for providing all the fruit, as devotees of both the respective deities possess some particular attributes, therefore it gets difficult for the deity to change the tendency of the devotees and provide them fruit accordingly. So generally, if a person is interested in attaining worldly or outer worldly result, he can ask for that from Shiv, and if a devotee is interested in attaining salvation, then that desire of that devotee can be fulfilled by Vishnu. Any question regarding this? Fine. Then we are concluding here for today's session. We'll be continuing tomorrow.
Dandavat pranam.